So guys, today we will be discussing about social learning theory and what it is all about. So take a seat and enjoy this short video. So who created the theory? So Albert Bandura was born in December 4, 1925. He was born in Mundare, Alberta, Canada. He is a psychologist specializing in social cognitive theory and self-efficacy. He is most famous for his social learning theory. So there are actually steps involved in the learning process: attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. So we all know that it is in our human nature that we are very observant and that we like to copy what we think suits us. Learning is a complex process influenced by many factors, and with this, people have different ways to learn, such as observation, reading, hearing, and watching. But we all know that when we observe things, we tend to copy them or imitate them if we think they are good. So in social learning theory, it is based on the belief that learning takes place in the social context. People learn from one another, and that learning is promoted by modeling or observing other people. With the current pandemic and the fear of getting infected by COVID, the traditional norm of nurses going to the community, such as this one, or the patient in the community going outside to enjoy a normal day, has decreased. Since then, student nurses have resorted to online communication with their patients. Social learning theory can have a number of real-world applications. This can also be utilized to teach people positive behaviors. These are the examples of social learning theory. So one example is Nurse Glassie is calling one of her patients. She is demonstrating range of motion exercises, which are activities aimed at improving joint function, prevention of contractures, and shortening of muscles and tendons, increase circulation to extremities, and facilitate comfort for the patient. Through observation, the patient learns how to do range of motion exercises and learns about its significance to health. In turn, the patient also performs return demonstration in order to let Nurse Glassie know that she has already understood how to do it and that she has learned how to and what the effects are. So another example of this theory is that a nurse is teaching a child on how to do proper hand washing. So the child tells the nurse that she saw an advertisement on hand washing and how it prevents germs. So this is what caught her attention. The next step is that Nurse Nicolay promotes retention by asking the child if she can follow her in what she is doing. The child then learns how to do hand washing and proceeds to do it by herself, and that shows the next step, which is reproduction or imitation. Nurse Nicolay then proceeds to the last step of the social learning theory by motivation through positive reinforcement. She does this by telling the child that she gets a reward for being very good. So why did Nurse Nicolay do this? She already knows the concept that individuals are more likely to adopt a model behavior if it results in the outcomes they value. So the next example would be The nurse teaching a pregnant woman how to do proper breastfeeding. Here, the patient tries to analyze the information given to her by the nurse and also practices it on her own. In the continuation, the nurse does a follow-up after the birth of the baby to evaluate the mother's retention of the information imparted to her by the nurse. The patient expresses her gratitude and confidence in the benefits that she has experienced with what the nurse taught her. So guys, that was the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed it, and that's all. Thank you.